For thousands of years, long before the modern world filled its shelves with soft white bread and empty calories, humankind was sustained by a handful of ancient grains so nourishing that they built empires, fed armies, and kept whole civilizations strong. And here is something that will surprise you. Measured the right way, some of these forgotten grains carry more protein than beef, along with fiber, minerals, and a depth of nourishment that modern wheat simply cannot match. Our great-grandparents knew these grains by heart. We traded them away for convenience and forgot them almost entirely. Today, I am going to bring 8 of these ancient protein powerhouses back into the light for you. Now let me be honest with you right from the very start, the way a good friend would, because the truth here matters. When we say these grains carry more protein than beef, we mean gram for gram in their dry form, or measured against the same number of calories. A steak on your plate still holds a great deal of protein by weight. But these ancient grains are so protein-dense and so complete in their nourishment that spoon for spoon, they truly can rival meat. And they bring gifts that beef never could: the fiber, the slow, steady energy, the minerals drawn up from the earth. So settle in, and let me walk you through 8 ancient grains the modern world left behind. And as we go, I want you to think about your own pantry, your own daily bread, and just how much richer it could be if you welcomed even 1 or 2 of these back into your life. We begin with amaranth, a tiny golden grain that was sacred to the ancient Aztecs, so central to their world that it was woven into their ceremonies and their daily bread alike. When the conquerors arrived, they tried to stamp it out, and amaranth very nearly vanished from history. But it survived, and we are all the richer for it. Unlike most grains, amaranth is a complete protein, meaning it contains all the essential building blocks the body needs, which is rare and precious in the plant world. It is also loaded with fiber, iron, and calcium. Cooked, it becomes a hearty, slightly nutty porridge, and it can even be popped like the tiniest corn you have ever seen. For a grain that nearly disappeared, amaranth offers a beautifully complete and ancient form of nourishment. And there is something almost defiant about it. A food that powerful men once tried to erase from the earth, still feeding families today, still carrying the strength of a people who refused to let it die. Every spoonful is a small piece of history that survived against the odds. The second ancient grain is quinoa, the treasure of the high Andes Mountains, where the Inca called it the mother grain and revered it above all others. For thousands of years, it sustained the peoples living in some of the harshest, highest country on earth, and for very good reason. Quinoa is one of the few plant foods that is a complete protein, delivering every essential amino acid the body requires. It is also rich in fiber, magnesium, and minerals, and it cooks quickly into light, fluffy grains with a gentle, nutty flavor. Once almost unknown outside the mountains, quinoa has rightfully earned its place as one of the most nourishing grains a person can eat. The mountain peoples grew it at altitudes where almost nothing else would survive, and they understood that this single crop could carry them through the thin, cold air of the high country when little else could. Third, we have teff, the smallest grain in the entire world, no larger than a poppy seed, and the ancient staple of Ethiopia, where it has been grown and treasured for thousands of years. Do not let its tiny size fool you, because teff is a nutritional giant, packed with protein, fiber, iron, and an impressive amount of calcium, which is rare among grains. It is the grain used to make the traditional sourdough flatbread that has fed an entire nation for millennia. Nutty, mild, and slightly sweet, teff can be simmered into porridge or baked into hearty breads. That such a tiny seed could sustain so many for so long is a powerful reminder that size has very little to do with strength. The fourth is spelt, an ancient cousin of modern wheat that has been cultivated for thousands of years and was a beloved staple across the ancient world, mentioned in some of the oldest writings known to humankind. Spelt fell out of favor when modern wheat, easier to harvest and process, took over the fields. But those who never let it go knew what they had. Spelt is noticeably higher in protein than common wheat, along with being rich in fiber and minerals. It has a wonderful, deep, nutty flavor, and many people who struggle with modern wheat find that this older grain sits more gently with them. Baked into bread or cooked whole, spelt is a taste of how grain used to be, before we bred so much of the goodness and character out of it in the name of bigger, faster, cheaper harvests. It rises a little differently, It tastes a little richer, and it reminds us that not every old thing deserves to be replaced. Number 5 is Kamut, also known by its ancient name Khorasan wheat, a grand old grain with kernels 2 or 3 times the size of modern wheat. Legend says it was rediscovered from a handful of seeds found in an ancient tomb, earning it the nickname the Pharaoh's wheat. And whether or not the tale is entirely true, this grain is unmistakably ancient. Kamut is richer in protein than ordinary wheat, along with healthy fats, minerals like selenium and zinc, and a buttery, rich flavor that sets it apart. Chewy and satisfying when cooked, this majestic grain carries the taste and the strength of the ancient world straight to the modern table. Hold one of its great golden kernels in your hand, twice the size of the wheat you know, and you can almost feel the deep history of it, a grain that fed pharaohs and farmers alike. The 6th ancient grain is sorghum, one of the oldest cultivated grains on earth, a staple across Africa for thousands of years, and a quiet hero of human nourishment. Hardy enough to thrive where other crops fail, sorghum kept whole peoples alive through droughts and hard times. It is a solid source of protein and fiber, rich in antioxidants, and naturally free of gluten, which makes it a gift for those who cannot eat wheat. Sorghum can be cooked whole like rice, popped like popcorn, or ground into flour. Humble, tough, and dependable, it is exactly the kind of unglamorous grain that has fed far more of humanity than the fancier foods we celebrate today. In a changing world, where droughts grow more common and good water grows more precious, a grain this hardy may turn out to be not just a relic of the past, but a quiet key to the future. Number 7 is Freekeh, a remarkable ancient grain made from young green wheat that is harvested early and roasted, a tradition stretching back thousands of years across the Middle East. The story goes that it was discovered by accident when a field of young wheat was burned, and the resourceful people rubbed away the char to find the nourishing green grain inside. Because it is harvested young, Freekeh retains more of its protein and nutrients, making it higher in protein and fiber than fully ripened wheat. It carries a deep, smoky, savory flavor unlike any other grain, and it has nourished the people of its homeland for countless generations as both food and medicine. One taste of it, and you understand instantly why they never let it go, why a happy accident in a burning field became a treasured tradition passed down for thousands of years. And finally, the 8th, millet, a tiny round grain that has fed more of humanity across history than almost any other, treasured in Africa and Asia for thousands of years before rice and wheat ever rose to dominance. Millet is gentle, easy to digest, and naturally free of gluten, and it offers a good amount of protein along with magnesium and other minerals. It can be cooked fluffy like rice or creamy like a porridge, taking on a mild, pleasant flavor that works in nearly any dish. Once the daily bread of vast populations, millet has been unfairly demoted in much of the world to birdseed, when in truth it is one of the oldest and most wholesome grains we have. Now let me speak gently to those of you caring for someone you love. Perhaps you are looking after an aging parent who needs gentle, steady nourishment, or someone whose strength you long to build back up, or simply a family you want to feed well on an honest budget. I see you, and I want you to know that these ancient grains are a quiet gift in exactly these moments. A warm bowl of amaranth or teff porridge in the morning, a hearty pot of sorghum or millet simmered into a nourishing meal, prepared with patient and loving hands, delivers real, lasting sustenance to a body that needs it. These grains are filling, affordable, and deeply nourishing, and to feed someone this way, day after day, is one of the most steadfast forms of love there is. There is comfort in a bowl of warm grain that goes beyond the nourishment itself, a sense of being cared for, of being safe, that reaches all the way back to our earliest days as a people. Good grain has carried families through every hardship history has ever thrown at them, through famines and wars and long bitter winters, and it can quietly carry yours too. But honesty requires that I say this plainly. These ancient grains are a wonderful foundation for a healthy diet, but they are not a replacement for proper medical or nutritional care. They are not a cure for any illness, and everyone's needs are different, especially for those managing health conditions, blood sugar, or food sensitivities. While several of these grains are naturally free of gluten, others, like spelt and kamut, do contain it, so anyone with a true gluten condition must choose carefully. If you are planning a major change in how you eat or caring for someone with particular needs, please talk with your physician or a dietitian first. Good food works best alongside good guidance, never instead of it. So the next time someone tells you that real nourishment only comes from meat, or that all grains are empty and worthless, you will know better. The amaranth, the quinoa, the ancient teff, and sorghum. These humble grains fed and strengthened entire civilizations long before the modern world existed, building strong bodies across thousands of years. That knowledge was never truly lost, only crowded out by soft white bread, clever marketing, and the simple pull of convenience. There is a quiet kind of freedom, too, in cooking these grains, in stepping off the path of identical loaves on identical shelves, and eating the way humans did for thousands of years. These grains are still here, still astonishingly nourishing, still waiting on a shelf or in a sack to do for you exactly what they did for the ancients, often for just a few coins a serving. Bring one back to your table this week. Cook it the way your great-grandparents would have, and stay with me, because the old fields still hold far more strength and nourishment than we have ever been told.